What's up, you guys? I'm gonna keep on showing these videos how this DSA either losing or they losing their minds, period. When it comes to these elections or their minds. My name is Deontay. Thanks for stopping by. Deontay Rants and Raves. Let's get it.
15,235 votes.
She's a woman who understands women's issues. I voted for Francesca Hung.
Okay.
Yes, and so it's nice to see someone who's like me to be in the office, and she's a single mom. I'm not a single mom, but I was at one point. And she's a part of the working class. She's a woman who understands women's issues. And also, she's a breath of fresh air here for Wisconsin. Personally, David Crowley. Feeling strong.
What real woman wouldn't understand women's issue? That was stupid. These daggone Karens. That was the most stupidest thing I ever heard.
I'm feeling good. Election day is always an exciting day.
Have you spoken to Evers?
I've not spoken to the governor yet. It's quite early. I want to let him have his coffee first.
Are you concerned, though? It's been a tough primary. Do you need a united party in November? Can you get everybody back on the same team?
We need a united party. We are ready to unite not just the party, but working class people all across the state to defeat Tom Tiffany in November.
Do you feel like your policies are the future of the Democratic Party?
I think our policies are ones that are the solutions to deliver for working class people, permanent affordability, so we don't come back to moments like these. I think the Democratic Party, we are a big tent party, and there's always room for better policies.
Yeah, and I'm just reading the closed captioning, and so I don't have the fullest grasp of this, but it appears there were some irregularities in the reporting process, so I think they have to go back to the city location and do some work there, and then potentially kind of restart that process. That's what I'm gathering from the city right now, or from the county update.
Really? That's
Defeated Democratic Socialist Francesca Hung in the Wisconsin gubernatorial primary.
Yeah, a lot of attention on that race. However, progressive Democrats did find some success in Minnesota, with Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan winning her primary for Minnesota Senate.
Boy. So we got to talk about the shock election results, and that is not exaggeration. Out of Wisconsin, featuring far-left socialist Francesca Hung, who's
Good afternoon.
probably the most far-left candidate that Democrats have run in these primaries thus far. And it seemed as if it was a shoo-in. It was a foregone conclusion she would be their nominee going into the midterms, the governor's race for Wisconsin. You had individuals dropping in and out of the race, okay, because she was winning so much, right, going in.
So much happened in this race about a month ago, with candidates getting in, candidates getting out. Remember, Crowley was out of this race for about 10 days. Then he jumped back in. There are other candidates here who are going to be on the ballot. Sarah Rodriguez, she's dropped out. Her name is still on the ballot. Mandela Barnes. The month of July, 140,000 votes were cast by mail in Wisconsin, most of them in the Democratic primary, some in the Republican, but most in the Democratic primary. Those votes were cast when other candidates were in the race who are long since gone. Those votes were cast before this dynamic of Crowley versus Hung, establishment, before that dynamic was set. So there's this last-minute effort by the establishment in Wisconsin to get folks behind Crowley to stop Hung.
He said she had robbed. Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I guess she's too far left for them. Cause that's crazy. You see how the news anchor look, his face, jaw drop, like, huh? But it was tight anyway. People ain't gonna go for the okie doke, man. People tired of BS. So I'm glad Wisconsin waking up. So yeah, the blue wave's not coming. It's not coming. But other than that, I'm glad she lost.
One of the problems, one of the hurdles they face tonight is that a lot of votes, probably well over 100,000, were cast before people understood that to be the case, and were probably cast for candidates who have long since left this race. So if this thing is close tonight, if the sort of establishment of the party succeeds in getting Crowley close to home, if they just miss, this could be a big factor. Votes that were cast long ago.
Via the polls, and we're going to talk about that more, okay, and what this actually means, because it seems as if the polling is all wrong, right? You can't trust or rely on the polling at all, okay? But last night ended up being the Democrats' worst nightmare, because even though David Crowley, who is supposed to be a so-called moderate Democrat, pulled out the victory, right? We all know what moderate Democrat actually means. It means not openly far left, right? Still far left, but not openly far left, okay? Not so stupid when it comes to politics.
Right, Angela.
They're openly going to present themselves as a lunatic, which is what Francesca Hong did, okay? And she tried to walk it back.
It's always hypocrisy with them. They always flip-flop. That's crazy. I'm glad you pointed that out. You're right on that. Yeah, they stole it. Conspiracy theory when it happens to us, but human error when it's to them.
AOC and Bernie said, nah, we're not endorsing you, right? You're so crazy. We're not even going to get behind you. And apparently that is what led to her losing by a razor-thin margin. As you can see here, David Crowley has 39.81% of the vote, 315,235 votes over Francesca Hong, having 39.33% with 311,475 votes. So that's less than about 4,000 or 5,000 votes. Right? So never let Democrats tell you that 4,000 or 5,000 illegal votes don't matter. Right? This is what they try to tell us about New Jersey. I just wanted to mention how razor thin this was, because again, this is a great example of why, again, getting it right matters. Right? And speaking of getting it right, apparently there was a tabulation error, right, that caused an NBC analyst to basically be stunned, speechless, live on air. Because, again, apparently they had some issues, as you already know, that when it comes to these Democrat races, okay, it's not over until the mail-in ballots, right, come in and give Democrats the votes they need in order to win. In this case, Democrats desperately needed to stop the socialist surge. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some funny business going on here, right? We know that Democrats like to rig their primaries. Right. And it was a lot of back and forth, right? I mean, at one point, you had David Crowley starting out. He was in the lead. And then Francesca Hong took back the lead. It kept going back and forth to the point where, again, it came down to a razor-thin margin. And you had 5 of 9 USB sticks with absentee ballot results contain only the audit logs rather than the actual vote totals. Okay, and the officials say this was a human error.
And the results. What we uncovered was that 5 of the sticks had the audit log downloaded and not the results. It's a human error. These things can happen. So basically what we need to do is go back to the operations center.
See, I got to bring it up. So Trump said 2020 was bogus. He lying. Old man lying. The old man out of his mind. He's a liar. But like you said, Angela, it's a human error. That's straight BS, man. What's up? Yeah, Uncle Ruckus back. What's up? Facts over feelings. Fuck your feelings. What's up, man? How you be? Uncle Ruckus. I be Uncle Ruckus. I don't give a fuck. You think calling me Uncle Ruckus is gonna change the channel or my opinion, how I feel? I don't give a fuck. But let's continue. Uncle Ruckus. Have you subscribed to the channel? Good afternoon.
We're going to download out of those 5 machines the results and make sure that's not the audit log. So we have the reports printed from the first download. We're going to reprint and start the process so that we can compare those results. We invite you to come join us. Milwaukee Police Department will come with us too. And so we'll re-download those results and then send them back here to be uploaded.
5 machines are issued?
Correct. Not the machines, the sticks. So the download process was the audit log was downloaded, not the results.
How many sticks?
9.
And so you will only be redoing those 5 sticks.
Correct.
But we can't know all of the
results.
Yeah, go back to the old way, man. The machine sucks. They know that, man. They know it can be hacked. It's digital. It's not that hard to hack. They on bullshit. Just go back to the old way. It's not that hard.
We can't see these four states where the results aren't working correctly.
And this is how NBC reacted to this live on air.
Yeah. I here's the thing. Here's let's look at it this way.
What's up, James? What's up, Strange, Strong, whatever your fucking name is? I'm glad there's more people in the U.S. Prejudice and bootlickers, racism needs to be deported. So what's up with this whole Trump thing? Are you paying attention to the title? I just said MAGA is better than socialism. MAGA is better than socialism. And you talking about fucking Trump. MAGA is beyond Trump. Period. So you must like the communist thing. You must like the government. You must know what a female is then. For you to keep on jumping my chat and anybody else chat talking about Trump. We don't care about the Trump situation. Trump doing his job. We happy with Trump. We're not upset with Trump. We should get tired of hearing the same thing about this whole bullshit about the whole fucking war thing. It's been going on for fucking years. You say MAGA's a loser? Okay, we losers. Okay, now what? MAGA's a loser. You a loser. Okay, now what? Next. What else you got besides that, Rick? The Democrat from saying the socialists, I'm glad they losing. They're starting to lose their momentum. And I'm hoping it stays that way. These people are stupid. All they want to do is tax motherfuckers. No plan, no policy, just tax them. And then the thing about it is they bitches and betas because they want to tax out of feelings. That's the bullshit. Because they get more money than you know what I'm saying, than them, they want to tax them. That shit's stupid as hell. Gay shit, stupid shit. Get out your feelings, you guys. It's not about Trump. It's about us. It's about we the people. Do you understand that Make America Great Again is about America, which is we the people, not about Trump, you fucking idiots? You sound stupid. You look stupid with your mask on. 15 booster shots. Take the mask off. Welcome to the chat. Let's get it. Fuck your feelings. Let's go.
We're kind of indefinitely waiting for them to get their act together here and get the sticks and bring them back and go on. And we've got folks here who are working.
James, it's not about me. It's about we the people, you fucking idiot. Welcome to the chat. Get out your feelings, man. Do you even live in America? Because the Constitution said we the people. Not we the government. Dumbass. Really? Rick, really? MAGA dumbass. That's crazy. A lot of betas in the chat.
Really. And I don't think we want to, keep them here to, this could go 90 minutes. And it's 90 minutes of me saying, have you heard of any other athletes running for Congress? It's like I know we've come so far here. It's been 4 hours since polls closed. It's been an unbelievably interesting and an intense night here, and it really is coming down to this one giant, update in Milwaukee. But man, we waited 90 minutes for them. They did this whole procession, and then they find out there's nothing on the sticks. and yeah, so it's just my way of saying, I'm just trying to say the audience here, so I'm not abruptly ending on them, just why we're doing this, because the audience has been with us for 4-6 hours in some cases for this moment.
Jaguar man, Reagan said it, and your favorite boy, Bill Clinton said it too. Make America great again. It wasn't just Trump that said it. And once again, it's beyond Trump. So get out your ass with the TDS. Jesus Christ. We talking about the DSA going on. It's not about Trump. We talking about the DSA. Stay focused. That's what the video was talking about. The DSA.
That didn't happen, and so folks, I think we are gonna wrap it here for the reasons we're saying here. But I want you to know I hate doing this to you, because you've been. I know you're here for results, and we've come to the point where it's like one thing away. I hope you understand that we just, we gotta let everyone here has been here for a long time, and
if you haven't already, subscribe. We are growing. 2,298 subscribers. Almost at 2,500. Almost there.
I'm just trying to. Okay. Oh, I need.
Wow.
So this is okay. So folks, here's what's happening. I'm.
Jaguar man, it wasn't just a Trump slogan, you fucking idiot. Damn. I told you it was Reagan, and I can show you the video of Reagan and Bill Clinton saying it. But you would be a beta male, be like, well, but with the but-isms. So get out your ass, man. It wasn't just Trump. Damn. Get out the man's ass, man.
This is sort of a cut-in thing. I'm.
You know what's crazy? The video is not even showing Trump in the video. That's how much TDS you piece of guys, you guys got. You guys, TDS is so fucked up. The video is about Democrat socialist bullshit. You gotta keep on talking about Trump. And MAGA is beyond Trump. Jesus Christ. Fucking betas. I'm glad you guys are here. I appreciate it. Welcome to the chat. Fuck your feelings. Let's get it.
They're gonna. Let me set this so it's.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Producing the producer.
This whole video is about 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying, long. And that one part in this video, a flash of Trump was shown. Nothing about Trump showing this video, but the people jumping in chat talking about Trump. The fucking TDS is strong, bro. Jesus Christ. You want a MAGA hat? I'll buy you a MAGA hat. Damn. I only got like 3 MAGA hats. I got no t-shirt, no shoes, no phone, no Trump account. There's a couple of Trump hats. But you guys get all the boosters. You keep voting blue no matter who. You go protest with your fucking mask on and your air suits on with your T-Rex and frog suits on. It's about no kings. We voted for him. And you talking about no kings, you had Nancy Pelosi and a few other people that's in the Senate and Congress for 40 fucking years. Joe Biden, 50 fucking years. Trump about to get his 8 years as a president. That's way less than Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer and all these guys. Get out your ass.
Melissa, do we want to do Wisconsin results in these updates, or how do we want to parse these out? Okay.
Okay, so we're doing this as like kind of a cut-in thing. We're gonna tape here, but they're gonna insert into News Now. So if you'd like, you can watch us put this together.
What up, Florida? What up, Mike?
Wow. That is one of the most awkward moments I've ever seen in cable news election history, right? I think it's just as awkward as watching BS now after Trump won in 2024 and in 2016, right? So again, the polls had hung up 22, 18, 25, 29, and 20. Crowley ends up pulling out with a razor thin margin, right? Similar to what happened out in.
My thing is this. I mean, you guys, I know the liberals not paying attention at all. That's why I'm constantly showing this video. To let them know the Democrat, you know what I'm saying, on goof mode. Democrat socialists keep telling you guys they want to destroy the Constitution, get rid of the president, get rid of the Senate, open prisons, demolish all type of law enforcement, part of the damn military itself. And you guys keep on saying MAGA's a cult and MAGA doesn't respect the Constitution. And these people telling you destroy the Constitution and bring in third world country stupid shit. Are you guys insane?
In Michigan with Abdul Rahman Muhammad El Said, right? This guy was up by 13 on average.
Oh, wow. Will Yum Hum, who the fuck is you? He said Trump don't know his alphabets, but the man's a fucking billionaire and a president twice. You stupid, Will. Welcome to the chat.
Ended up only winning by one. Now, again, this is a nightmare scenario for Democrats. Why is this a nightmare scenario for Democrats? The reason why this is a nightmare scenario for Democrats is because it proves exactly what I've been saying for years, right? I've been saying this. Okay, I have been driving this point home on this channel because it's true. I understand how politics works. These people are too far left, okay? And what happens is that these people aren't as popular as they think that they are. Yes, some of them are winning Democrat primaries because you.
Who cares how much money Trump got from his father? He didn't get it from the government. He is not begging for no handouts. He got it from his dad. Who gives a fuck?
Do have the base of the Democrat Party. They are moving more socialist, but there are a lot of moderate Democrats who are rejecting this, right? So what you're saying is that these socialists are underperforming when it comes time for people.
So you jealous of Trump of his father getting him money? Random? That's so random. You jealous of another man's father getting him money? That's insane. Wow. That's crazy. The man is jealous. I don't give a fuck how Trump got this money. That's your problem. What's wrong with you? We voted for the man to be the president. Y'all going all in man background. That's good that you vetting the man. You guys do that shit for Biden. I wish I'd done the same thing for Obama. I had voted for his ass the first time. But you guys really going all in this shit. But you get your shit all fucked up because you got your feelings in it. Jesus Christ. This man 80 years old. You talking about what his daddy gave to him when he was what, in his teens and his 20s? That man 80 fucking years old. What is you guys doing? We are in 2026 right now. The video is talking about yesterday's election. How, you know what I'm saying, it's good that the DSA are starting to lose their momentum. And you sons of bitches keep on talking about some fucking Trump and his dad and shit. Get out your ass and pay attention to the video. Welcome to the chat. Fuck your feelings. Let's continue.
To vote. And for whatever reason, that's not showing up in the polling, right? Maybe the polls are oversampling far left radical lunatics, right?
His dad gave him.
So if these socialists are struggling in these primaries to win, right, in swing states like Wisconsin and Michigan, because this is what actually matters. New York doesn't matter.
Okay.
California doesn't matter, right? Those.
Now watch this. Watch this hypocrisy. What Madani did. Madani never had a fucking job. AOC never had a fucking job. You know what I'm saying? Abdul Absi never had a fucking job. All these kids are fucking spoiled. And they became politicians. And now they politicians with these goofy ass ideas. And these younger generations thinking it's okay to go with it. Because they bankrupt themselves in this goofy ass college debt and shit like that. That shit stupid as hell. Get out your ass. Pay attention to what's going on. Follow the money.
States don't decide the presidency. The states that
you know what I'm saying? What job did Zoran the Mandami had? What job did he have? And this dude's a fucking mayor. What job did Zoran the dummy had? At least Trump got years, decades of his man portfolio. What's Zoran the dummy portfolio? But this guy got elected. Out of nowhere. Who the fuck is dude? He's a failed rapper. He's a failed actor. Do y'all research on Zoro Mandami. Stop watching these fucking 10-second videos. Watch the whole 10-minute video. Your attention span too fucked up. Stop watching TikTok. Let's get it.
Decide the presidency. That decide the Senate, right? That decide the House. Wisconsin, Michigan, swing states, swing-ish states, right?
My next video, I'm gonna play that Zoro the dummy is not doing a good job at all. Period.
So in these races, you're saying these socialists struggle. So they're losing, right? Like Hong just lost, even though she was the heavy favorite. Heavy favorite. So they're struggling when it comes time to actually vote. So what do you think is gonna happen in the general? What do you think is gonna happen in general? If Hong had won this race, which by the way, I think they stole it from her, right? Considering the tabulation era, right? I think the Democrats came in and stole it from her because they knew what was gonna happen. If she won this race, going into the midterms, that would have been a disaster for why? Because she was going to lose. She would be a shoe-in to lose, right? To Tom Tiffany, one. And then two, again, the national spotlight would be on her. Hey, look at this far-left radical lunatic running in Wisconsin, right? Running for governor in Wisconsin. So, again, I think Democrats definitely.
Slim Racing Central, you okay over there? With your 49 subscribers, you okay? Get out your ass, man.
Swooped in and did some funny business in order to get the outcome that they wanted. But it's just hilarious to me because, again, it shows you exactly what I've been saying. These socialists are not nearly as popular as they think. They think that everybody wants free stuff, right? everybody wants Crazy Town with some free stuff, right? That's what they think. And it's like, no, everybody doesn't want that. Everybody's not stupid, right? So again, this is bad. This is really bad. Why is this bad? Because, well, you still got El Said, right? You still got him out in Michigan. You still got the lunatic out there in Maine. You still got other lunatics running in these races, right? That are winning these primaries in these swing states, in these swing districts. You still have those individuals that you got to worry about. So this is just one that went down.
Chad, what up, Chad? Chad, USA.
In the primary. And it's just the governor of Wisconsin. Doesn't really have that much to do with a national election outside of the fact that, again, it would have been great, if she, had won because, hey, that would have been great campaign material for Republicans. They should still use it, right? Because, I think she still represents the...
Nothing much, you know what I'm saying? Showing these videos to these lefties, you know what I'm saying? Let them know what I'm saying, what's going on with the DSA. But these lefties are too much in their feelings. Talking about the past and talking about Trump dad getting her money. When the video's clearly talking about what happened yesterday in the election, how the DSA is losing their ground. And we glad, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't sane. They want to get rid of the Constitution. And they need to keep the Constitution and respect it. If they don't like it, keep their third world country bullshit over there and stay over there with it. How in the hell you go born somewhere else, then come to America, then want to change the Constitution to the bullshit that your parents and grandparents and generation are trying to get rid of from, and come here in America and make it better? These people are stupid. But you got these grown men and women out here, just puppets, told to do what to do. Trump got the vaccine. I didn't get no vaccine. But you guys got like 50 vaccines and shit and still wearing your mask. And everybody, you know what I'm saying, that's MAGA got the vaccine. I guarantee you a large percentage of MAGA did not get the vaccine. But you guys got it. Soon on Biden and Harris said, get the shot. You guys ran and got the shot and got so many of them, you lost your identity. Your fucking blood party don't even exist no more. So many goddamn booster shots in your system. You guys are fucking idiots. You party in your car driving right now with your mask on. Or party in your garage with your mask on by yourself. But you gonna tell us MAGA be cold because we got a red hat on. At least we can take our hat off and our hat breathe. You guys look stupid with your fucking mask on your face. In a restaurant trying to eat with a mask on. You stupid. Get out your feelings and fuck your feelings. Let's get it.
Democrat Party, right? But you got El Said. El Said he's good enough, okay? We'll use him, okay, and others, and other radical lunatics. But again, look at who's winning. This woman won a nomination for Senate out in Minnesota.
Assalamu alaikum. My name's Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really honored.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Name is Deontay. Everybody is welcome. Because I voted for Trump doesn't mean you got to be in the chat. Anybody can be in the chat. Let's get it.
And humbled to be here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota. I think about my friendship with Nimco. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And when I think of being part of Minnesota and growing up here, the Somali community has always been a part of my Minnesota.
Amazing. Amazing. Again, these are the candidates that they're putting up for Senate. For Senate.
Whether you get the life-saving health care that your doctor has prescribed.
See, for me, I quit my job because of COVID. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I believe in God. I quit the job that I had. I was working for the city. I said, you know what? Nah, y'all ain't finna play with my body with this BS. So I quit and got somewhere else. And work somewhere else and make money some other way. Fuck that shot. But the ones who got it, hey, that's your body, your choice. Do you. But it's just crazy how the blue states and the cities, you know what I'm saying, stayed locked down way longer than the red states did. And the red states thrive way much better as far as academically and money, all that shit. That's why these kids right now in the blue states doing this teen takeover because they can't fucking read. Attention span fucked up.
And passing Medicare for all. Because we are.
And once again, it's not fault. It's not Trump's fault that the price of gas is up. It's the company. The company on BS. It's the barrels. The barrels are cheap, but the company's keeping the price up. My thing is just hold on. So you guys want that Band-Aid quick fix. Trump, you know what I'm saying, and the conservatives and Republicans, us MAGAs, we believe in long term. Ain't no such thing just fixing a Band-Aid and that's it. No, you gotta, you know what I'm saying, fix it all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no quick patch. No, follow through. Make sure it works, make sure it's tight, make sure it's good to go. Fuck all that just quick fix shit. That's how your leaks start back again.
Going to make healthcare available and affordable once and for all. And now let's talk about Donald Trump's out of control ICE force. We need to rip ICE apart and stop them from terrorizing our communities. And I know this. I know that we can fix our broken.
Hey, Mark, that sounds real stupid what you said. So that's why y'all get mad when ICE agents wear their masks. So when y'all wear y'all masks, it makes you guys tough and breathe better. So that's why y'all mad when the ICE agent wear theirs, because they make them breathe better to whoop you guys' ass. Okay, I get it now. That's why you guys don't. Okay, you stupid.
Immigration system, secure the border, and create a real pathway to citizenship that aligns with our values. And we are going to stop Donald Trump's billion-dollar-a-day illegal war in Iran and the crushing gas and fertilizer prices.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Again, radical lunatics are still winning all over the place. But like I said, this is a nightmare for Democrats because what that indicates that these people are not that popular, right? That when it comes time for people to vote, people reject these individuals. Again, as I said, in general elections, you can't run radicals. Our country is not, it's not that, right? We're not Europe. And that's what these socialists don't understand. We're not Europe, okay? We're not Europe. We're the United States of America. And we're not that far left. We're not a socialist country.
Good afternoon.
But again, these lunatics, they think they're so popular. They think everybody wants their free stuff. And they're running the most radical lunatics that they can find. And lo and behold, oh, wait, they're not doing as well as they should be doing in Democrat primaries, right? On their own home turf. Again, imagine what happens in the general. So this is why, again, I'm not on a blue wave train. I've been saying that, and I'm gonna stick to it. Unless something changes, unless I see right, some other reason, right? This is why I keep telling people, look, I think the Democrats are snatching defeat from the jaws of getting in bed with these lunatics. These lunatics are not candidates that can win general elections in swing states, because normal people with common sense, sane people are going to reject this stuff. General elections are a different and
Just months after the MTA fare hike took effect, the agency is already looking ahead to the next one. A new financial plan calls for another increase to subways, buses, and tolls starting in March.
Wait a second. I thought Mayor Mamdani promised free buses and free subway rides, but these prices are going up again. And with apartment rents hitting a median of $5,300 per month, the voters of this decaying paradise wonder when the affordability they voted for is finally going to start to materialize as they sit around going bankrupt because of what they now know turns out to actually be communism.
For millions of New Yorkers who rely on the subway system, a commute that should take minutes could quickly turn into a wait.
It takes too much time out of my day.
Fares increased, so you would hope that money goes towards fixing issues.
Cost of getting around New York could soon go up again.
Everything going up, food going up, gas, tolls, everything.
5 city-owned supermarkets, one per borough, run by the government, stopped by the government, priced by the government. What could possibly go wrong? They swear you'll save $90 a month.
What the cheap grocery stores do is create an incredible success story for socialism that will help to support and fuel the socialist waves in urban centers around this country.
I was downstairs waiting on the train, like it was smoke coming from down the platform, filling up the whole station. A lot of people ran outside.
At any price point, you want good service. And I don't think we're getting that.
So they're raising.
Mark and Fun Sky, you guys okay in the chat? You all right? You paying attention to the video? You take your show somewhere else, man. You guys seem to be weird in this chat. What's going on?
Subway fares 4%, but check this out. Crime is up 11%. That almost makes the 4% sound like a bargain. If you're trying to destroy this place, and what nobody running it will tell you is that this was all entirely predictable. Crime is going up. Things are getting more expensive, and that's because communism has arrived in full force. And even though people voted for a self-proclaimed...
What is wrong with these people in the chat? I'm showing Zoran the Madami BS in New York, how he's messing it up. And you guys keep on talking about Trump. You guys really are really sick. You guys are sick in the chat. You lefties are really sick. This video is about Zoran the dummy and how New York is messed up and how he promised all the BS and how it's not working. We done with the whole vaccine conversation. That conversation being done already. Another video ago. Y'all still want the vaccine? That's over with. Pay attention to the video. I ain't sure that one Trump in the video. You keep talking about Trump. We talking about Zoran the dummy.
Ambitious socialist thinking it was going to make their life more affordable. None of the mayor's accomplishments are doing any such thing, like freezing rent. That hasn't stopped prices from going up for everybody who has an unfrozen market rate apartment to offset the costs incurred by landlords, and these free to operate grocery stores, which get all their food paid for by me and you and cost.
All right, Fun Sky and Tony and Stem Racing. Are you guys paying attention to the video? Because obviously you're not paying attention to the video because he's telling you guys what's going on in New York. Is he lying what he's saying about what's going on in New York? You guys know everything about Trump. Do you guys pay attention to what he talked about in the video? New York is a disaster, and the same thing for Chicago with this bullshit of socialism. I don't care who don't like me, who do like me. Tony, fuck you and your feelings, Tony Burton. Anybody in this chat, I don't care about your feelings. You serious? You still in the chat with me. We can block if you want to. I don't care. All we ask you to like to the channel and subscribe. If not, stay in the chat and engage. I don't care. Fuck my feelings, fuck your feelings. Black MAGA. Who gives a fuck? That's that bitch shit there. You black MAGA. You got a MAGA hat on. I don't give a fuck. White MAGA. Who gives a fuck about white MAGA being racist? Who cares? Now what? Next. Because at the end of the day, right now, you the racist, you idiot. Tony Burdens, you are the racist. Ain't nobody here talking about racist or Trump, but you idiots. This whole video is about the DSA. I keep saying this shit. This is a second video. And you gotta keep telling on some fucking Trump. You are a racist, bro. Hey, man, don't forget your ass up out of here, man. Get this fucking piece of shit up out of my channel, man. Ban this piece of shit. I don't give a... Yeah, fuck your feelings. Get this good up out of here. Gotta go. The fuck up out of here. Stupid shit.
It's 10 times what a normal store costs to open? Well, those aren't going to save anyone money. And to get the money for them, everyone else's pocketbooks are getting raided along with the
I don't know everything. I'm human. I'm Deontay from Chicago, live in Rockford. But I've been a Democrat. I'm 43 years old. Been married twice. I got kids. I see the shit going on. I'm living this shit. You know what I'm saying? But you guys so much in this media shit. You forget how to live. Fucking just live. See what's going on. Life is great. You guys focus all on the negative shit. Wake the fuck up. Get out your feelings.
police, which tells criminals it's go time. None of this has delivered affordability for anyone, and even the people who might think they benefit from something like a frozen rent apartment that's never going to get more expensive, well, even they're losing, and here's why. And ever more dangerous.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck your race. It's about your character. I don't care about nobody's race. I've been called a nigga, but I've been called a nigga my whole life by black people. Period. No other race called me a nigga. Only blacks. My own kind. Are you fucking serious?
City and transit system is not affordable for anyone except the criminals taking it over on a daily basis. And apartment buildings full of rents that are completely frozen and will never thaw out or generate profit, those stop being affordable the moment the buildings they're in fall down because nobody can afford to fix them. And even if you live near a free grocery store, that won't make your life affordable as everybody else has to pay for this. And as businesses get hammered, their employees will take home less money, the stores will make less money, if they can even stay in business, because the goal of the grocery stores is to put them out. And that brings us to the real reason we're watching the real-time destruction of New York City. You see, communism, it can't come in and cooperate with capitalism. It's got to get rid of capitalism, delete it, and replace it. And that's what we're watching. And the communists are going to do it block by block.
I'm sick and tired of this damn Iran war and this Israel bullshit. I'm sick and tired of all this shit. Blow they dumb ass up. Call it a day. Get the shit over with. Trump, end this fucking war. Get it over with. What else you guys talking about in this chat? No, my thing is pay attention to Trump. Watch everything Trump doing. Pay attention. I'm not saying don't pay attention to Trump. Pay attention to him. Why not? Well, if you're going to pay attention to Trump, James, Mark, Slim Racing, don't watch no 10-second video from any outlet and then and consider that's facts. Watch the whole 10-minute video or even an hour-long video. Watch the whole thing is entirely what I'm getting at. Because apparently you guys haven't. Me being a YouTuber now, I'm sitting back and watch all this stuff and then it's whole entirely before I just jump on here and just throw out anything. I love my name. I'm not gonna just throw my name out there just because of the sake of some fucking click or views. Fuck that shit. That shit's stupid anyway. Because once the internet goes out, AI goes out, then what? we go back to, you know what I'm saying, what I'm used to. No cell phones, no beepers. I'm used to that. I'm 43. I get it. I can handle it.
Business by business, landlord by landlord, until nothing remains and everyone's living in a government-funded apartment, shopping at a government-run grocery store, just like the Soviet Union. And your only hope as an American living in America's own private Havana will be the prayer that the communists recant of their beliefs and start to feed others, something they've never done before in any regime ever, because their system does not work unless its ultimate goal is to destroy and replace everything. And as you're about to see, it's already succeeding wildly. Check this out.
Cost of getting around New York could soon go up again. The MTA's new preliminary financial plan calls for a 4% increase to bus and subway fares, along with bridge and tunnel tolls.
At any price point, you want good service. And I don't think we're getting that.
So here we've got a government-run subway system with zero competitors, and it's doing everything the free grocery stores are going to do soon. And it's doing everything that the government-run apartment buildings are going to do very soon once the mayor takes more of them over. It's failing. It gets worse every year. It gets more expensive every year. And every year that it gets more expensive, it does so because of the promise that the increased funding is going to finally make it better, and it never does. The first lie New York City was told about this happened with the congestion pricing cameras. Oh yes, the new taxation scheme to toll every single car on the road. It was supposed to provide billions, that was going to improve the subway and make it better and make it incredible and make it awesome, and yet that hasn't happened. And with the communism we already have imploding as it is, one can only imagine where the city...
Cat for life, appreciate that. I'm not listening to him, just engaging with him, let them know, you know what I'm saying? I'm not weak. I'm not on bullshit. And this shit is serious, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I even though at the end of the day, it's entertainment. Because I don't know these people don't know me. But at least I can show you something, which is the truth. Especially when it comes to these elections. Too many times right now, the irregularity when it comes to these elections. It's just like, really? On both sides, it's tiresome. It's got to stop. And it comes with the border being open. 20 million people coming in unvetted, just spread it out throughout the states because of Biden. Busting them in, flying them in overnight. The governors got upset and started busting them everywhere else throughout the states then. After that, the governor's like, no way, all right, you going to put them here in the red states? They send to all the blue states. Fuck it. And that's what happened. But at one point, they was lying saying they wasn't sending the immigrants in. We weren't flying nobody in. We're not sending nobody over there. Fucking circle back Jen Psaki. You know what I'm saying? Her ass, redhead after that line. Raggedy Ann looking ass. Bogus as hell. They weren't bringing nobody in. Yes, they was. They was flying them in overnight, but they call it a red eye.
First socialist mayor is going to take this chariot of doom.
Take a look at this video. This was seen early this morning after a vacuum train caught on fire at Astor Place.
I was downstairs waiting on the train, and like it was smoke coming from down the platform, filling up the whole station, and it got unbearable. And we all started to cough. A lot of people ran outside.
Yeah, so the crime-ridden subway, it's not...
Welcome to the chat. Name is Deontay. Everybody is welcome. I just ask no bots and no trolls. We can agree or disagree. Fuck your feelings. Fuck my feelings. The whole point is to show you guys what the heck is going on with the latest events that's going on as far as this DSA BS. So again, fuck your feelings, fuck mine. I'm showing you guys what's going on in this world. You can take it from there. I voted for Trump. I'm glad I did. I'll vote for him again if I have to. But other than that, you know, the DSA want to get rid of the Constitution, and we fighting to keep the Constitution and keep it going for the next 250 years. 250 years is here for a reason. Because of capitalism. Because it works.
Not even safe for the people who are trying to fix it. That is an absolute embarrassment. This thing gets over $20 billion a year to be this bad. Oh, but if you pay pay us a little bit more money. We'll fix it next year. Why do we need extra money? So that stuff like this stops happening. But that's the scam the MTA puts the city through every single year. Every time they raise the prices, every time they do anything, every time they steal a little bit more money from every single New Yorker, driving affordability up the wazoo. They have a promise and they never keep it. But here's the other issue nobody's talking about. An 11% spike in felony assaults and robberies. That's not affordable either. It's not affordable when robberies go way up in the thing you're supposed to take that's supposed to get you to work. Transit crime in the Big Apple spiked nearly 11% last month. A surge cops blamed partially on violent and sticky-fingered recidivists. Okay, so who else is committing the crime? That's what I want to know. Felony assaults, non-violent grand larcenies. Grand larcenies when someone loses over $1,000 worth of stuff. So people are getting robbed for thousands of dollars worth of stuff on their way to work. Yeah, that's an affordable city. See, law enforcement equals affordability. A well-running transit system that gets people to work on time, that equals affordability. Yet New Yorkers are about to pay more for that. They're going to start paying more for their groceries once the free grocery stores open because they're going to tax and hammer everybody in town and all the businesses around them so that some people can get 30% off. And the apartment prices keep going up. Nothing about any of this is affordable. It's only getting worse, and the fault of it lies right at the feet of the socialists who said they were going to fix all this, but nobody here seems to care or even realize it.
Then only just that, Joe Biden left $86 billion of military equipment in Afghanistan. And he left people behind and people died. What the heck, man? And then my thing is, I was looking like, well, damn, $86 billion, you could have get that money to Ukraine when Ukraine was asking for some money. I'm like, y'all could have gave that shit to them at the time. I'm like, what the heck? But, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's straight BS. Who was trying to steal the election? Mark, are you a fucking idiot? Democrats, socialists just told you, they say they don't like the Constitution. They want to burn the Constitution and also wipe it with their ass. These people are bogus, man. Do you like America? If you don't, get the fuck out. Yes, MAGA is fighting for the Constitution. You idiot. Get out your ass. Get out your feelings, bro. Damn. Mark, you got a good name. Your name is in the Bible. What's wrong with you, bro? We are fighting for the Constitution. What's we fighting for? We live here.
And as you're about to see, even the plans these socialists have, if you can take advantage of them, they're not even going to save you that much money. Look at this.
You said they're going to be 30% cheaper than they would be at the grocery store down the street. How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that?
We are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card esque, and also we manage who's buying and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers.
Yeah.
ID for chips and dip? Well, the left couldn't stomach it, so the commie caved by dinner time. No bouncers at the bodega after all.
And we're talking about a city-run grocery store, one in each borough, which, by the way, you do not need an ID to shop at.
So you don't need an ID to shop at these places, even though they went out and said, you're going to need an ID to shop at these, because there was backlash, and they said, hey, wait a minute, we're a no-ID city.
And then let's think about it, too, with the Democrat socialists. They want to get rid of the Constitution, but at the same time, as of right now, they want to use the Constitution for power right now. But once they get in, they already said they're going to get rid of it. So you try to attack them anything where the Constitution says, but as soon as they get in, they want to destroy it, rip it up. We're not a cult, man. Leave MAGA alone and join us and unite with us. We do not hate. Every time we have a rally, we talk, have a good time, we laugh, and we chant USA. You go to Democrat Party or barbecue, anything, it's all victimhood. What happened last year? What happened 400 years ago? What happened 1,000 years ago? Grow up. Nobody's a victim. Make accountability great again.
Don't require ID to do anything. How on earth can we require ID to go to the grocery store? So they walked that back. And what that means is that New York City and New York City residents, they're not just asked to endure punishment so that they can provide communism.
Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Name is Deontay.
For themselves. Oh no, the communism provided by those who are punished in New York, that is going to be redistributed, not just within city limits, but to anyone who comes here. You can come here from Connecticut, you can come here from New Jersey, you can come here from any part of the world that's a sanctuary city and shop at the free grocery store, and New Yorkers are going to be expected to pay for that. What a disaster. And why are we supposed to think that the government is going to go into the grocery business and do a better job than they're doing in the subway business? Look at how awful they're doing in that.
Who rely on the subway system, a commute that should take minutes could quickly turn into a wait.
It takes too much time out of my day.
But it doesn't take a breakdown.
Mark, come on, man. Stop it, bro. If Trump want to get rid of the Constitution, it'd have been done by now. Period. The man got grandkids. The man got business, you know what I'm saying, here in America. Why would he tank America and he got money and business and family here? The man 80 years old. I believe Trump, as a businessman, he thinks and works long term. That's why he's not like your normal politician. Politicians want to give you the quick fix to get so you can get in. And then when they get in, they flip on you. They lie to you. They send your dumb ass off. Now you're looking stupid. Voters' remorse. MAGA, we don't have no voters' remorse. We red pill. We are not fucking black pill. That's you guys.
To bring the system to a crawl. A new MTA analysis examined more than 70 bottleneck locations across its subway system, where trains often get stuck. Many
Now, when it comes to the tariffs, I got a video I can play with some guys, where a guy, he's kind of like breaking down the tariffs a little bit. I can play that too. I'll let this finish out.
happen where multiple lines share the same tracks, or where track layouts limit train speeds. 25 locations, many in Brooklyn, have been identified as the top candidates for improvement.
Okay, so they've got some top candidates for improvements that the MTA, who runs the subway, has gone out there and identified. But here's the problem. This is not a brand new system. This system wasn't built yesterday, and now they have a report that's identified some bugs that they didn't know about. No, every problem endured by the subway has been known since its inception. There is nobody working for the city government that is in charge of the subway that is faced with a new problem that they have just discovered. Oh no, all of this is inherited, all of it's known about. They can keep talking about it, they can keep using these problems as excuses to raise the fare, but they're not able to do anything about it. It is such a scam and such a failure that the idea of the same people doing this, getting into the grocery business, should make everybody go, absolutely not. No way this is going to work. We're already watching them fail and fall flat on their faces with the most expensive transit system in the entire Western world, which is also the worst and looks like this. And before you think, oh, well, the groceries is different, you're comparing apples to oranges. No, I'm not. Look at the way the service works here and tell me if you think it's good and tell me if you think it's helping people.
Have been identified as the top candidate for improvements.
Fares increased, so you would hope that money goes toward $2,299. Almost there, you guys. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Fixing issues. One of those locations is Myrtle Avenue, where riders say delays have been part of the commute for years.
It's overwhelming. Right. To get to places.
The MTA says not every project will happen right away. Plans include modernizing
I don't know if you saw this, but the stat that got me, within the Democratic Party right now, 59% of Democrats who support socialism have college degrees. 40% who support socialism don't.
That's Mike Rowe casually dismantling the left's entire worker uprising fairy tale by pointing out that most Democrats pushing socialism are college graduates deep in debt. Not the
Mike Pence is not the vice president now. We got J.D. Vance. That, how many years ago that is? Oh my gosh, Mark. You got a strong name, Mark. But right now, you're not looking strong right now, bro. Just stop typing, man, and just listen to the video that I'm playing. Please, just stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Just stop.
people who actually build and produce in this country. Welcome back to Nurk News. I'm Nurkish, and it looks like Democrats' socialist spin is starting to unravel.
Mark, can we stop talking about Trump, bro? We talking about the fucking DSA and the socialism BS with this communist shit. Can you stop talking about Trump? Please. Watch the fucking video. Damn. The video ain't nothing about no fucking Trump, bro. We talking about motherfucking the DSA bullshit. How the Democrat Party is stupid. Damn. I ain't playing that one Trump yet. And he talking about Trump. What the fuck?
Because establishment media keeps selling this as some sort of blue-collar revolt against capitalism, while the data shows it's mostly credentialed elites who blindly followed the borrow for your own dream advice, got an expensive piece of paper, and now want everyone else to cover their failure. Here's Micro laying out the numbers for Bill Maher.
I shared your monologue from last week.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was really important because you didn't accuse anybody of anything, really. You just quoted. You quoted. So I put this up on my little page, and I wrote what I wrote. And we have over 200,000 comments on this thing. You hit something that's so primal right now. And for me, I don't really have a dog in the big socialism hunt specifically, but I've got one in workforce. And when I look at 400,000 or 500,000 open jobs, and then I look at those 7 million able-bodied men not even looking at the jobs at all. And then I look at this whole conversation unspooling. So this thing that's being called a worker uprising, it's really not.
No.
It's not. This is happening because a lot of people with a really expensive credential are in the hole in a big way.
You see, and
they're pissed.
Okay, I'm part of
and
the
I don't
cult,
blame
man.
them.
Fuck it.
Honestly, I mean, you can say what you want about it, but they took our advice. We said, borrow whatever it takes. Go follow your dream.
Chad, USA. You see that, man? The hat triggers them, man. That's crazy. Damn, fucking betas.
And then go get your dream job. And that was a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, they don't want to borrow money to get a degree for a job that doesn't exist.
And I don't want to lend them money that they'll never be able to pay back to get their credential for the job.
I mean, just like Micro pointed out, 59% of Democrats who...
JP, that was stupid. Your first approach, this in my hat, instead of watching the video in its entirety, you talking about a fucking hat. You an idiot. And it shows how soft you is. Because you think my hat is going to affect me or I'm taking my hat off. I'm not going to take my hat off. Fuck you and your feelings. Welcome to the chat. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you want to say the same thing, fuck my feelings. I don't care. Welcome to the chat. Let's get it.
Support socialism hold college degrees, and only 40% don't. So despite what the AOC types say, this isn't the shop floor rising up. I mean, DSA membership is 80% bachelor's degrees, 35% advanced degrees, and blue-collar types and working-class Americans make up just 4% of that. I can only imagine the useless types of majors that these college graduates have.
They keyboard warriors, you know what I'm saying? I work in the public. I don't mind being in the public. What I say is what I said. I'm not going to take my words back. None of that. Don't cry your dry eyes. Who's crying? You the one that's crying. Welcome to the chat. He's someone crying. I'm not even crying. I just told you, fuck you and your feelings. Who's crying?
I mean, total student debt sits at around $1.84 trillion across 42.8 million borrowers. The average being around 43,570. I mean, for crying out loud, Ford still has 5,000 empty high pay bays. Meanwhile, up to 52% of recent graduates start underemployed. Meanwhile, manufacturing faces up to...
I don't like the Democrat Party and the DSA in the whole party, period. Ain't just a certain half a percentage of it. I don't like the whole party in its entirety. The whole history of it is bogus. I don't hear none of that lesser two evil bullshit. That side is evil, period. For the last damn near 10 years, the corruption has been coming from the Democrat. Murder, money, You know what I'm saying? Border crisis. All the Democrat fault. You know what I'm saying? When it came to COVID. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Fauci lied about all the shit. Put on 3 masks. Put on 6 masks. Take the shot up your arm. Take the shot up your neck. Take the shot up your ass. Take the shot up your foot. Like, goddamn, how many boosters you gotta keep on putting in your body? Which part of it?
$1.9 million unfilled jobs by 2033, and construction needs 349,000 net new workers this year alone. I mean, this is elite disappointment colliding with reality, not some utopian proletariat revolt. I mean, it's clear that to the left, the people who actually produce get all the cost, while the people who chased a meaningless piece of paper get the virtue points.
And the radical left always does well among elites because the elites are insulated from the consequences of the policies that the extreme push. But the lower income people, the less educated, they experience the hell up close. The liberal elite, when things go bad, they can go move to a safer neighborhood. They can go to better schools. They have the freedom to leave the deteriorating public systems that when it all goes south under socialism, and they can avoid the street level disorder that blacks and Hispanics can't. So they can support radical candidates, pat themselves on the back for their expression of their heightened moral status. While the blue collar folk, they live in the places affected by the property and violent crime. They rely on the public schools that go to hell because you guys adopt these grisly policy experiments on children under the name of diversity.
I mean, once again, Gutfeld is exactly right here. The radical left thrives among elites because those elites almost never live with the results of the policies that they constantly cheer. Progressive Abdul El Sayed just narrowly beat the establishment Democrat in the Michigan Senate primary 48.5 to 47.5. It's the same college debt class calling all the shots. Non-college voters have been moving. Meanwhile, non-college voters have been moving in the other direction for years, while Democrats constantly chase and prioritize the laptop class priorities. I mean, Trace projections show 1.4 million unfilled jobs by 2030 and a potential 325 billion GDP hit. Elites in academia, media, and high-cost zip codes push high regulation, open borders, and soft on crime agendas from behind private security and remote work. And once again, working-class American families absorb all of those higher costs, the crime, and the empty trade jobs. These radical leftist policies thrive precisely because their champions stayed insulated. But the reality to all of this is at the end of the day, America needs builders and producers protected. Not more experiments from the protected class and open borders illegals to backfill those jobs. But you know what time it is? Let me know what you think. I'm trying to give you a lot of information here to fight all of this liberal BS and give you some stats and figures to throw back in their faces. So let me know what you think. Is the socialist surge inside the Democrat Party actually a workers' movement, or just debt-ridden college elites who blindly follow the liberal agenda, demanding that the rest of the country socialize their disappointment and failure? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That stuff really does help us out, especially in the algorithm, which can be a little finicky at times. So it's always greatly...
Is anyone else getting a little bit tired of being gaslit by people who don't know what the hell they're talking about and are stuck in this globalist, internationalist mindset, and yet for some reason refuse to accept the reality that the Trump administration and Scott Bessent are changing the rules of the game across the globe?
There are big moves happening right now that are directly going to impact your future standard of living, your kids' future standard of living, and right now, what the U.S. is doing by intervening in Japan's currency market tells us everything we need to know about the future of the dollar and what's coming next for all of us here in the U.S.
And yes, I chose that particular video because these large content creators who continue to amplify and prop up this slop propaganda need to be educated on the things that are actually happening in the world. Why did the U.S. get involved in helping to strengthen the Japanese yen? Well, there was a reason for it, but it's not the rage bait fear porn reason that these propagandists are trying to convince you of. It was a psychological call. So if the U.S. was so concerned about strengthening the Japanese yen for our own benefit, for our own protection, explain one thing for me. Why did Scott Bessent choose to purchase a whole bunch of yen in euros and not U.S. dollars? The answer to that question should tell you that this was not a selfish effort to shore up the U.S. bond market. Instead, this was a shot across the bow of the globalist, the internationalist, the British imperialist system, the banks of London, the ones who have been using the Japanese yen as their plaything to enrich the globalist system for the last 40 years. Ever since Nixon was forced to end the Bretton Woods Agreement, where our currencies were tied to the gold standard, ever since then, currencies have been running wild. And there have been some countries that have been the targets of the globalist system to use for the purpose of carry trade. Carry trade is a technique used in currency trading where you go to a country whose currency has been held artificially low at zero or near zero interest rates, and then you purchase a bunch of yen, you take it to another country that has a higher interest rate, you buy a commodity or an asset that pays interest, and you keep the spread. They've basically been using the Japanese economy and the Japanese currency to make billions and billions of dollars for the banks of London. And because the British imperialist system loves to use euros to take advantage of the Japanese yen, Scott Bessent choosing to sell a bunch of euros put a ton of pressure on the imperialist system. Not enough to do any major damage, but a reminder that we know how to destroy you if we choose to. For those of you who've been crying about ending the imperialist system on a global scale, Scott Bessent showing you how to do it.
What happened at the
old people who still support Trump. Thoughts? Play the clip.
This is a message to all the old ass people out there who still worship Daddy Trump and think he's the best person out there. You guys did not even understand what 6-7 meant. Yeah, the two numbers that are a meme. You didn't even understand what that meant.
Did she just say they didn't know what 6-7 means?
But you think you understand what's going on in the government right now by watching one singular news channel and sometimes scrolling on TikTok? You think you understand everything that's going on there?
I lost brain cells.
That's a little naive. That's a little dumb.
When are these people going to learn that the internet doesn't represent the real world? It's not reality, ma'am. How embarrassing for somebody to say something so stupid. I cannot believe this liberal even suggested that people don't understand what's going on in the world, talking about our older generation, because they didn't understand 6-7. You cannot make this shit up. And yet they are allowing these types of people to vote for people to go into power to run our country. We are doomed. God.
Democrat Representative AOC Alexandra, she's at it again. People pulling another one of her head. Brilliant publicity stunt, people, because she has done a video. Not only did she do a video, but she has announced to the world that do not give a shit, okay, that she's freezing her eggs at 36 years old. She did a little demonstration and everything. And yeah, ironically, the same day she announced this is the day that rumors have it that she's separated from her husband, which, by the way, is a white man. Yeah. You know, AOC and Don Lemon, Kamala Harris, they like going around preaching that white people are the devil, but they're getting pumped out every night by the devil, apparently. She wants to broadcast it. She wants to document it. Now, look, guys, we understand that AOC, she is no newbie when it comes to publicity stunt, whether she's at one of her rallies changing her voice, her tempo, or she's on some interview doing some weird shit. We know AOC is very desperate, all right? There's speculation saying that she might run for 2028, which is impossible, but it's very possible that she could run in the next 10 to 15 years. Now, we also understand that libtards of libtard nation are the easiest human beings on the face of the earth to be manipulated, all right? We live in a time right now where women are just angry. They're angry, they're bitter, they're mad, right? Yeah. And I mean, look at Rosie O'Donnell and Whoopi Goldberg. Shit, and Sunny Holston. Sunny Holston is a perfect example of you can't settle. Because she settled for that fruity pebble of a husband and she's still angry for some weird reason. Now, mind you guys, conservatives are not easily manipulated, all right? We can look at this and say, I'm pretty sure she did not separate from her husband. I'm pretty sure they probably somewhere on La La Land right now, booed up. I think this is a publicity stunt. I think both of them is running this game on libtards. I mean, look, truth of the matter is, AOC, even though conservatives look at this and say, man, this is stupid, unfortunately, AOC has tapped into an audience, and that audience are liberal, bitter women, okay? Now, unfortunately, there's not enough of those in the country that will support her to that level, but she is capitalizing off these people.
Find her assailant and bring him to justice.
Of course, yeah, of course.
What would
absolutely.
it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality that we're actually facing right now, which is that we're spending absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing, and we're not spending money on things that actually make people.
So in reality, I have no clue. I don't really know. What I do know is I want to talk about my pre-planned talking points. This is what happens when you ask these democratic socialist questions one level deep. They're out here, yeah, let's get rid of prisons and get rid of the police. Okay, if something happens to my daughter, if you get rid of the prisons and police and my daughter's raped, how are we going to solve that problem? And what will happen to the man that raped her? Well, brain melts, short circuits. Because they don't know. They're a bunch of babbling, blood-sucking idiots. And again, I say this because the Democratic Party is welcoming these people with open arms. We're a big tent party, Chuck Schumer says. Don't believe me? Watch.
Is the rise of the DSA good for your party? Look, we are a big tent party, and being a big tent party is a strength, not a weakness.
Democrats, and by the way, the girl I showed you talking, she's one of the national leaders for the Democratic Socialists of America. And again, the Democrats are welcoming them. It'd be different if we were talking about differences in marginal tax rates and difference in foreign policy. That's not where Democrats are going. Again, these people are welcoming people into the Democratic Party, into national politics. Let's think about this. That want to get rid of the Senate, that want to abolish the police, that want to abolish prisons, that want to get rid of the presidency, they want to get rid of the Supreme Court, and they want to replace that with a body that is appointed by essentially like a House of Representatives. They quite literally want to make our country less safe and destroy the foundation that built this republic. This is a republic, and that's important because the foundation and how this republic was structured is one of the reasons, the primary reason it's lasted so long. The balance of power, checks and balances. Having democracy play a role, but not having a pure democracy so you don't have 51% pushing down their agenda on the other 49%. That's how you get wars. These democratic socialists are a threat to the republic, and Democrats are welcoming them in with open arms. And also, if you want to see how fintech companies have been censoring conservatives and even deplatforming people like Donald Trump, I'm going to have a link to that in my profile. It's an article. It's about a 3-minute read. And in my opinion, it shows why it's important that we stay engaged culturally and politically. It is sponsored. The link to that's in my profiles. Just go to my profile, click the link. It'll be the first thing you see. That's it, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
Let's say you're a young person living in a house with a bunch of roommates, and one of your roommates comes home and invites a vagrant. You know, he's crazy looking, his eyes are all over the place.
You have this rise of this extremism on the other side that's actually gaining some traction. I mean, I don't think ultimately it's going to gain any traction. I think ultimately it's going to be quite a failure at the voting booths. And I think that smart Democrats actually know this too, which is why AOC is trying to distance herself from the DSA who plucked her out of nowhere. I mean, she was just a little old bartender until her brother sent in her headshot, her nice glossy 8x10, and they said, woo, let's give this girl a shot. And sure enough, the next thing you know, she becomes the next congresswoman from New York and possibly the next president.
Thank you, guys. We are growing. 2,299. Almost at 2,500 subscribers. Thank you, guys. We are growing. Look at that. 1.3 million views. 18K likes. Thank you, guys. We are growing. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's continue.
In the United States of America, if she gets her way. I came up on this ABC show over the weekend and she just laughed and deflected. Well, you know, I'm focused on Congress right now, but I'm never going to rule anything out. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to rule it out for you, okay? I don't think you're going to get to first base, but listen to how she's trying to pivot because she knows this is baggage. She knows the communist stuff has got to stop. Watch.
The abolish prisons, abolish police, which is also positions that have been taken by a lot of the progressive candidates who have won. How do you get around that?
Yeah.
Those are not positions that are supported by.
Right. I mean, I think that a lot of these races, even right now, they'll have a tendency to be nationalized.
Yeah.
But these races ultimately are local, and all politics are local. My understanding is that is that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot
Right,
of that.
she's moved away from it. And I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy.
And I think...
You see what I'm saying? She's trying to pivot. She's trying to do this little pirouette, just dance her way. You know, all those merengue lessons really paying off there for AOC. She's going to twirl her way right over to the center of the stage from far left. Except we've got all the tape of all the dances way over there on the far left, not to mention some questionable...
The chat USA, she didn't change her mind. She moved away from it. Good one. She moved her way from her mind.
Counting associated with the merengue and salsa dancing lessons that we've talked about in the past. Anyway, she's trying to wiggle her way back into the middle because she's got bigger aspirations. She wants to go on to do bigger things, and she knows this is going to be like a noose around her neck. Oh, she doesn't need this. All this communist BS and defund the police and let's celebrate with Hamas the day after October 7th. This is going to be a problem for one Ms. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who can't speak Spanish. Sandy from Greece.
What's up, Obi?
Here she is trying to explain the difference between socialism and the DSA versus communism. Oh, this is good.
But by the way, just a quick definitional thing. What, in your mind, is the difference between socialism and communism?
I think, to me, the fundamental differences, I mean, there's many.
Here we go.
One, prevailing one is democracy.
Okay.
And I believe that democratic socialists are fundamentally pro-democracy.
Okay.
And we believe in the ballot box. We believe in respecting the outcomes of elections and governing democratically, and ensuring that the ideas and policies that are implemented are won through popular vote and popular opinion. And so I think that's why so much of what we focus on is also making sure that we are providing for the majority of Americans, guaranteeing health care, raising wages, strengthening the right to a union. And I think that that's at its core what we're about.
Are you still a member of Democratic Socialists of America?
Of the New York City chapter.
The New York City chapter, not the national.
Oh.
No.
And what's the difference?
Right.
So every DSA chapter is formed locally.
Yeah.
And so the New York City DSA chapter, those are folks that you know. It's kind of like your local union chapter.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So, because I know there was that strange moment in 2024 when the national chapter took away your endorsement.
Yes.
But I was looking through the DSA program, and this is the national program. I'm sure you've seen the document. It was adopted just a few months ago. But some of the positions here: defund the Department of Defense, close overseas military bases, abolish the police and prison system, grant amnesty to all immigrants in the U.S., replace the Supreme Court and executive judiciary with a chosen by lower to.
What other country is fighting for this, for the illegals? What other country is doing this? And why is America doing it? Why? You liberals, you Karens and you Darrens and you Betas, why are you guys not seeing that the other countries not fighting for the legal to come in? But you guys are. That's crazy.
Congress, abolish the Senate, public ownership of corporations and essential industries. I mean, those are some positions that you're going to be hearing a lot.
What? That's not the DSA platform. What videos you been watching? I done played damn near 3-4 videos of the DSA saying they are dismantling the Constitution and everything else on the planet when it comes to America. What are you talking about? He said, "Oh yeah, random. Yeah, you're a troll. Welcome to the chat. Did you subscribe to the channel? Let me get to 2,300. I'm at 2,099. If you don't, I don't care. But it'd be nice. But other than that, the DSA platform is bogus and corrupt, man. And I don't know what you're not listening to. They telling you. She's saying it. And AOC right now is backtracking. Why do you think the guy's asking these questions? Because the people said it.
About this fall from Republicans.
And I think we're also going to be hearing a lot about Donald Trump's commitment to getting us into a reckless war in Iran, his collaboration with big companies to make sure that everything from groceries to rent stay sky high. And I think that.
And then the stupid stuff is, too, both sides got billionaires, lobbying and paying for these bullshit things that's going on. Both sides got billionaires. So the Democrat Party billionaires is better than Trump's party billionaires? Really? So when they keep on saying tax the billionaires, you gonna tell George Soros, come on, man, you know they're not gonna do that. They on BS. It's all a game. Wake up.
People are less interested in these academic debates, and they're more interested in how we're going to bring their bills down and make sure that they can afford to see a doctor.
But do you see, are those positions you support?
No, but I think that this is a free country. Everyone can have all sorts of beliefs and they can organize around them, and you're free to do what you like and, have conversations with your neighbors. But my job as an elected official is to guarantee health care in America. And that's what I'm focused on, and that's what I seek to do.
And what do you say to the moderate Democrats who say, first of all, that they are capitalists, and that those positions are going to doom the Democratic Party because, again, they're not positions that are supported.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they're free to have
their You're right.
economic identity.
She's definitely a total moron. You know what I'm saying? She was selected to be where she's at now. Her brother sent a headshot in to an agency. Agency said, hey, she fits the bill. And here we are. I played a video yesterday about her, how she said it herself, sitting down, talking to the people in the interview. She was like, yeah, I was at my job chilling, and my brothers put my headshot out, and they called me in and went from there. It's crazy. She even grew up in the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? And she did, that's cool. But to lie, to say she grew up in the Bronx, that's bogus as hell because it never happened. She grew up in a whole other place in town.
As they like, and in terms of dooming the party, the idea that there's a diversity of thought in America among everyday voting people is a fundamental fact of our country. I don't think that we should be worried about what somebody somewhere believes. I think we should be focused on what our plan to improve people's lives are.
Wow. Okay, so she's just a little bit of a train wreck, right? Can we call it for what it is? A little bit of a train wreck. And I think the reporter should have gone a little bit harder after her. You can't just sit there and say, oh, this is economic diversity. Defund the police? That's economic diversity? Have open borders? This is economic diversity? No, these are really radical ideas. Radical ideas. And if you're not willing to call that out, you can't have your cake and eat it too, okay, chica? You can't. It's either you're a Democrat or you're a socialist. But see, she always was a socialist, right? She was hand-selected by the DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America, brought to you by China. She was selected by them from the 8x10 glossy out of like 10,000 candidates. That was one heck of an audition, let me tell you. The bartending gig, that was getting old. Suddenly she becomes a politician, and now she's going to answer questions like that. Oh, I mean, we don't even have to get into the Munich Security Conference. That was one big abomination after another, remember? She couldn't explain the whole Palestinian-Israel conflict.
Right, it was popular at the time. Now they got to backtrack because now, the midterms. So once again, MAGA, we're not panicking. You guys are. The blues are. The blue demons. You silly voters. They know what a woman is. It's an adult female, you idiot.
I mean, it's getting a little too tough for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She was an economics major at Boston University.
Again, 2,299. Thank you guys. Subscribe.
You should have a little bit better of an understanding of supply versus demand and the supply-demand equation. Maybe a little Econ 101, but nope. She is a Democrat socialist. She's one of the original ones. And now she can't answer for this stuff because it's got...
What do you think? Voter ID, yes or no?
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Mom Donnie all day, every day.
He said that you need to have an ID to enter the grocery store.
Y'all saw that, Karen? Madani all day. See? This is the downfall of New York right there. Like, share, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's 15 minutes long. Let's get it.
What do you think?
Why?
I don't know, because he also said that you shouldn't have to present an ID to vote.
So, right.
Yeah. What is he doing right this moment that's made New York better?
What has Trump done that's made
Trump's not mayor of New York. Hi everyone, it's Savannah with Her Patriot Voice. Today we are in Brooklyn at a farmer's market asking people about Mamdani being in the news this week about his city-run grocery stores. He wants to require government ID to enter one of his city-run grocery stores but not to vote. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Let's see what New Yorkers have to say. Did you vote for Mamdani? Mm-hmm. Okay, you like how he's doing so far? Mm-hmm. All right. When he was running, he said that he was going to implement city-run grocery stores where groceries would be cheap, and he says that you need an ID to enter. Okay. What do you think about that?
Honestly, I don't really have an opinion. Sorry. I think you can exclude me from this.
Okay, well, my point is that he said that you don't need an ID to vote.
Yeah, okay.
But you need one to enter a grocery store.
Okay.
What do you think that is?
I think you can exclude me from this series.
I think it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really ironic. Did you vote for Mamdani?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Do you like how he's doing so far?
So far, so good.
Alrighty. He's been in the news this week because he said that you need to have an ID to enter the grocery store. What do you think?
Why?
I mean, I don't know, because he also said that you shouldn't have to present an ID to vote.
So, right.
Yeah. So
I'm confused.
I don't know, maybe it's because, like, he doesn't want people taking advantage of the grocery stores, like rich people?
I don't think would rich people go places where you need free groceries? Like, oh, they do take advantage. My bad.
Some of them do, yeah.
Okay, but if you're, like, poor and you don't have ID.
That's my question.
That's a problem, right, so.
Yeah, but he's saying, you got to present ID, got to make sure you are who you say you are.
Actually, people can get the New York City ID, so I guess if they have that, they can use it. I don't know too many people who have a lot of money that are trying to get a New York City ID.
Right.
But, that's a little backwards, but.
It is a little backwards. It's a little questionable because voting, we don't want people taking advantage of that system, of course. So he's like, no IDs for voting, which is very important, but you have to have an ID for a grocery store.
Yeah, I find that weird, but,
should everybody have an ID to vote to make sure that they are who they say they are?
I don't think so. I mean, if you live in the city, you need to show that you live in the city so you can vote. This is your...
And how would you do that if you don't have an ID?
Tell you. Because now everybody's worrying about who's who. But they should have been worrying about who's who when all these tax cuts were going on and people couldn't get discounts. But, wow.
I don't know. I mean, you got to have an ID to enter a bar. You got to have an ID if you want to get your own tattoo. Yeah, you got to show an ID. You got to prove that you're 18 years old. You can't be a minor getting piercings and without a parental consent.
I didn't know that because I got my tattoos from a friend of mine, so...
Probably didn't have to show an ID to a friend, but
also I was of age, so it was like...
And I think you have to show your ID to get a library card, too, because you got to put your name on it.
That now, yeah.
Jake Drake, welcome back to the chat. You said MAGA's idiot. You an idiot. Now, welcome to the chat, you piece of shit. Welcome. Let's get it. Drake.
So, I think we should just have IDs for everything. Make sure that people are who they say they are, have integrity.
Yeah, because then you can prove it. Like, it's best to be able to prove it so that you don't have to prove it.
He's wanting to open these city-run grocery stores, and I think these are supposed to benefit people that are more low income, that don't have, money for groceries. And he is requiring that you show an ID to enter the grocery store, but he doesn't think you should have to require ID to vote. What are your thoughts on that?
Dre, that's your fucking name, right?
Repeat that one more time. He wants you to have ID to go into grocery stores, but you don't need ID to
vote in U.S. elections.
It's about reading right now. You're watching the video.
That's what.
Are you watching the video, Dre?
I said, Is that like a little
it doesn't
ironic?
make sense to need an ID to go into grocery stores.
I didn't say idiot. Okay, well, guess what? This channel here, fuck your feelings. How about that? I called you idiot, now what? I've been called a coon, a bootlicker, a sellout. So fuck your feelings. Welcome to the chat. Watch the video. Let's engage.
Food is for everyone. If you don't need an ID to vote, I guess you can't really know who's actually part of the community. At least that's my initial take on it, but maybe I should do more research before I answer some more.
No, but that was completely common sense. When somebody casts a vote, you only get one vote if you're one person. Doesn't matter if you're 2-spirit, 3-spirit, you only get one vote. So people who, would want to vote for Trump or whoever other candidate, if they didn't have to show an ID, they could just keep going back, right? And just under a different name, and that's not okay. I think that he wants to require ID for the grocery stores so that people who can actually afford groceries don't take advantage of it, which is the same reason we're pro-voter ID, so that people don't take advantage of the vote.
Wow. They love talking about Trump being a pedophile. There's nothing on the record saying Trump is a pedophile. But yet you guys want open borders that has pedophiles that hurt our women. Unalive our women. Y'all cool with that though. They physically, it's on record, document people have been unalive and raped. You got people saying they did, that he done something, or claim to done something, or just because his name is in the file, all of a sudden he done something because it fits a certain narrative that you guys got going on. You guys are fucking idiots.
Voting system.
Find this information.
Google. So you can just look up Mamdani city-run grocery stores. He's been in the news all week about it, talking about what he wants to do. Go on the mayor's website. It's all there, but also it's from his perspective. So we want the truth. So we got to look at multiple sources. Anyway, thank you.
What are you talking about?
Mamdani city-run grocery stores. Good, bad?
I mean, like, it's like managed by the city, stocked by the city?
Well, 3 he has open, right? Sorry? He has 3 that they've opened so far? Is he planning to open 2 or 3? Yeah, 2. Okay. First one in East Harlem. He's been in the news.
Okay, watch this, guy. Okay, Trey Dog said Democrats don't support open borders, and which way you think? If you vote Democrat, you are voting to have open borders. What the fuck are you talking about? Another idiot. Facts over feelings. Fuck your feelings. What are you talking about? Democrat Party is telling everybody, besides the DSA, they want the borders be open. Not only just that, they want to give reparations to the illegals. Did you hear about that too? It was said about like 3 or 4 months ago. Do your research. Facts over feelings.
This week about it because he says that you have to have an ID in order to enter the grocery store.
Or like proof of residency in the city? Okay.
Yeah, so that makes sense to me. You know, we don't want people taking advantage of it who don't really need discounted groceries. But then he doesn't support requiring voter ID, which I think is kind of ironic.
Okay, I see where this is going. Thank you, though.
Where's it going? Isn't that ironic?
Chucky.
I would need more details before me. I can give you more.
Charlie Kelly.
He didn't support the SAVE Act. The walking away. It always proves the point, guys. Have you guys heard about Mamdani's city-run grocery stores?
Yes, we have.
Yeah? You guys in favor of them?
Very in favor.
We're in.
We're excited.
Let's see. Why not?
Yeah, let's see if it works out, you know? He said that you have to you're required to show an ID.
Hey, Dre, this is my channel. I don't got to define anything to you. I don't got to respond to you and answer to you at all, Dre. I can throw you off this channel and block you. If I block you, you're gonna start crying about it. Oh my God, I got blocked. He kicked me out of his channel. Why they do that? I just had an opinion. Well, fuck your opinion. How about that? Who cares? You're not even watching the video. That's the whole thing. It's like I'm showing this video and you're in your feelings.
To enter the grocery store. What do you think about that?
I know that they like making some comparison between this and voting law ID.
Well, exactly, because he doesn't support, having to show your ID to vote, which I think is, interesting, because, don't show your ID to vote in U.S. elections, but show your ID to enter a grocery store?
Yeah, but I think that you're making kind of a false equivalency, and there are.
So you guys gonna hang on to the word research. So just listen to the video. Come on, Dre. Come on, Trey Dog. Get your guys' feelings. This is a good interview.
A lot of things that are coming along with the voter ID that are not being said. It's not as easy as just grabbing an ID. They're going to require, in some places you have a passport. They're going to require, there's a lot of things that it's not just grab a single ID.
But right now, you just need a government ID to vote, and then he wants...
Hey, Floyd, I don't care about these guys' feelings. They don't care about my feelings. They don't care about yours. I love them. I love them all day long. I don't hate them. But I can still, call them out. And you guys want to call them out? Call them out. Anybody, the cuffs is off. Cuffs off. You know what I'm saying? Fuck these people in their feelings. On the real. Fuck them in their feelings. They don't appreciate, the chat, what we got going on. Fuck them. Period. There's other YouTuber channels out there. I get it. It's all good with me. What you're not going to do is tell me about my hat or how I run my channel or about my mods. These mods earn it. They cool as hell. They engage. We agree or disagree. It's all good. Fuck your feelings. Welcome to the chat.
It's an ID to enter a grocery store. I don't understand how that's a false equivalency.
Well, I don't want to be interviewed, but have a good day.
Alrighty.
I mean, I think he's a strategic guy. Him and his team, they're smart people.
What's your favorite thing he's done so far?
Oh, I mean, I feel like there are a lot. There are like 600 miles of bike lanes coming. And when you think about all the e-bikes and everybody without a helmet on their city bike, that's awesome. I mean, and I think, actually, you know what? Number one is that he communicates what a mayor does to all of us. And that's a beautiful example for every citizen and for every mayor. And
we got it, guys. Look at that. 2,300. Thank you, guys. Two more subscribers. Excuse me on that one. 200 more subscribers to go to get 2,500. Thank you, guys. We are growing. You guys are a blessing. Thank you. I'm excited. Got tongue tied. Thank you. Thank you.
I think I'm gonna let him do his thing, and then I'm gonna give him a grade. So if there is some reason that he is choosing to do this, then let's hear him out, because I think his team is really fucking smart, and then let's see how it goes. There's a lot of things that they're planning for. So let's just hear him out. Mamdani all day, every day. So
wow, I hope he's the best mayor ever, guys. I really do. I hope he does better than any other mayor. That's really what I wish.
Yeah, about this whole Mandami being a president, no research I see, somebody in the chat, because the man was born in Uganda, so he can't become president at all.
Not for every mayor.
Absolutely. But so far, I'm just not really seeing. I mean, you said there's 600 miles of bike lanes coming, and I'm a cyclist, so I love that. But you said coming. What is he doing right this moment that's made New York better?
What has Trump done that's made
Trump's not mayor of New York. I'm talking about New York, so this is mainly where I'm affected, because local politics is more important than elections. So answer my question first.
He's the only black I like or trust. Okay, well, thank you, Charlie Kelly. Appreciate it. I'm just, American, you know what I'm saying? Take a tired of BS. I have a passport. I can go overseas. I've been overseas. And going overseas is a nice vacation. You know what I'm saying? It's good to go overseas and see different things. Breathe the air, see what's going on. Nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, we all know America's way better than these other countries that we go to go visit. I've been in Haiti, I've been in Jamaica, been in Mexico. Been a lot of places. Nothing like America, man. Period. Our homeless people get treated way better than the people overseas do. Our homeless people is fat compared to people overseas. We got fat homeless people. Unreal.
No, I'm gonna be honest. When you're put on the spot to say what your favorite song is, do you know it? I see something on my Instagram channel basically every single day that's actively in the work.
Yep, get this person up out of here. That's stupid. No value to the channel.
And I'm gonna come back to what.
Take 5 seconds and think about it. Think about one thing. Just take 5 seconds, because you said there are many. So just think about one. That's all I'm asking.
I mean, the fact that there's.
I don't know either.
If you wanna,
I'm not sure. This is not a gotcha. This is literally. I mean, people say Mamdani all day. I love him. What do you love about him?
I love that he had 24 hours where he was in a museum and he sat there and you could sign up and make an appointment, and him and his whole team sat there and they were like, what do you need? And then he's gonna take the next 4 years to try to do what he can do in that time to prove himself out.
We're 8 months in. What's he done so far? 8 months is a long time. It's almost.
You've got internet and you've got a newspaper too.
No,
this is a got you.
I want to learn from you. You seem smart.
How is it a got you question?
All right. There you go, guys. Mamdani's been in the news this week. He wants to require an ID to enter his city-run grocery stores, his magnificent, soon-to-come grocery stores, but not to vote in U.S. elections.
Liquid Sky 74. Welcome to the chat, man. Appreciate you in the chat. Thank you.
Thoughts? That's totally ridiculous. You have to show ID to get free groceries or whatever, reduced groceries, whatever you want to call it. But you don't need ID to vote. That's really ridiculous. Literally, you could go to any voter poll without an ID and say, I'm this person, and vote for them.
You could vote multiple times if you want it. You could be dead and vote.
Make it make sense.
Why do you think it is that he wants people to show an ID to enter the grocery store?
So he can track what they're buying and track who's going in and out of the store, which is ridiculous because it should be a free will thing, not no socialism, communism, BS in New York City.
Absolutely. Communists out. If you guys like my channel and want to support my work, go ahead and become a channel member. I believe the tier starts at $1.99 a month, and the funds will go toward helping keep me safe on the streets, hiring security, and also traveling around to different events and cities to make amazing content for you guys. Thank you. Have you heard about the city-run grocery stores Mom Donnie wants to put in?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good idea?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Awesome. You guys vote for Mom Donnie?
Yeah.
I was out of town. I
canvassed for him,
but I was very pro Madonna.
He is saying that you have to have a vote, like an ID, to go into these grocery stores, but he didn't support voter ID. Does that make sense?
Yeah, sure.
How?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I feel like voting and shopping are two different things. I don't think, it's mandated to have, a federally issued ID to vote. Yeah, that's a Republican thing.
Only U.S. citizens are allowed to vote, and that's how it's always been. So
this is the free press? What outlet is this?
Just me, independent. I'm Savannah.
Cool.
I'm a citizen. I'm a New Yorker. I just like to go around and ask people questions. You should have to show your ID to go into a store where you're going to shop, but not to vote in U.S. elections.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So then you could possibly just vote multiple times then and cheat the system.
Yeah, I mean, there's very low statistical evidence of that kind of fraud, but I know that it's harped on a lot in right-wing kind of publications. So
do you know why it's low? Because we require voter ID. You got to register. You got to make sure that you are the person that you say that you are.
Yeah, but not the poll site. I've never shown my ID at the poll site.
I think that's a problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
There you go,
but,
right
you're welcome to.
Alrighty.
So you don't care if they're terrorists? You don't care who they are? If a Hamas member decides that he just wants to come on the plane?
Is that worrying you today? A Hamas member hijacking a plane?
Oh yeah, I'm very worried about terrorism. You should be too, though. I mean, you're not even worried about voters' ID. Come here, you want to say hello?
What do you think? Voter ID, yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she said. You can't even stand these liberals over there. What are you
she can vote, guys.
She flies planes, right?
Educated, independent woman right here, American voter.
Right. You're an illegal immigrant, right? You came from where?
There are plenty of people who point to some very controversial positions that DSA takes. Let's talk about some of them. Your policy agenda on law enforcement is to defund police, ultimately to get rid of police departments, correct?
Well, what I would say is that we're dramatically overspending on police right now.
I understand, but the goal is to defund the police departments so we don't need them in the future.
I think what we really want to see is a horizon where folks are not reliant on armed enforcement to meet our public safety needs.
Yeah. Right, but it says defund police on the website. That's your goal. And also to get rid of prisons and jails, correct?
Yes.
So if my daughter is assaulted and raped, is there any agency that would seek to find her assailant and bring him to justice? Here we go.
Of course, yeah, of course.
What
absolutely.
would it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality that we're actually facing right now, which is that we're spending absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing, and we're not spending money on things that actually make people safe and feel safe, which is things like actually well-lit streets. The streetlights in Los Angeles, everybody agrees it's a huge problem.
Yeah, let's not care about what actually makes people safe. Let's care more about what makes people feel safe. Let's care about people's feelings rather than actual facts. And let's not talk about hypotheticals, even though people being raped is not a hypothetical. That's a real thing that does happen. But let's not talk about it because it's not super convenient, and I don't really have the answer to that right now.
Nope.
Incredible. By the way, this is Frances Gill. As you can probably guess, she labels herself a DSA leader, right? I would say communist, okay?
Charlie Kelly, he's all good, chat. He's cool. Yeah, I'm reading everybody's chat. I'm right here with you guys. I'm reading everything. Charlie, cool. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And yeah, this interview was quite embarrassing. Quite embarrassing, but carry on.
Things like mental health care and substance use treatment. So things that drive people to commit crimes and to that make our society less safe. We're not doing anything about the root causes, and instead we're funneling money into the police.
Abdul al-Sayed's victory in the Democratic primary in the Senate in Michigan. Of the 15 counties where a majority do not have a college degree, he lost every one of them, over 15. In the counties with high education, like you, he won. So how can you say you're for the working class when working class counties in Detroit and elsewhere voted against your candidate?
I think what we're...
Well, it also highlights something that we've been talking about for quite some time. And, you know, a lot of you pointed out to me as well that Charlie Kirk also called this out before his passing as well. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. But college is a scam. That's first and foremost. It's an absolute scam. For the most part, most people don't need the degrees that they have.
I appreciate
and a lot of individuals, especially folks...
All you moms, I appreciate all you guys, man. You guys be on it. Appreciate it. But yeah, Charlie Kelly, he cool. I be reading his chat. He good. Thank you, though. Thank you.
That I personally know, they don't even use their degrees. They're working a completely different job that doesn't require the degree that they have. And also, and I uploaded a YouTube short about this. If you don't watch my YouTube shorts, definitely check them out. Colleges are allowing these students to sign up for majors and get these degrees in things that don't mean anything in the real world. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. There was a guy who I made a YouTube short on, and he said that he majored in women's gender social society studies or something like that. And it was like, wait. And the chick was like, so what do you plan on doing with that? Like, what kind of job could you get with that? Like, I don't see any type of job you're gonna be able to get with that. And the guy was like, well, I don't know. And I'm not saying it's completely on the fault of the colleges, but that is just utterly ridiculous. The fact that they're even offering stuff like that is just crazy to me. Okay? But then it also leads to my next point. They're indoctrination camps. As you just heard, the statistics show a lot of these heavily educated, and I put that in air quotations because I don't really consider them educated anymore. They're indoctrinated. A lot of these folks who went to these colleges and universities and spent all this money and blah, 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 you know, they call themselves highly educated. They're the ones that are voting for this communist gobbledygook. They're the ones that are voting for this. Not the working class individuals who are busting their butts, getting up at 6, not returning home until super late in the afternoon, working long hours, trying to make ends meet. Those types of folks aren't voting for these communists. It's the super highly educated individuals who've got these degrees in women's social.
What's up, Benjamin Davis? What's up, Benjamin Davis? Welcome.
Gender studies. You know, they're a doctorate in women's social gender studies, but they're working at McDonald's and they're pissed off about it. So they're voting for these communists. That's the problem here. And there needs to be something done about it. Seriously. There needs to be something done about it. We don't need the number of colleges that we have. A lot of colleges need to be shut down, in my humble opinion.
Benjamin Davis, what's up, man? I just made Charlie Kelly a mod, and also just made Liquid Sky a mod. What's good? How you been?
But then also we need to crack down on these majors
I see you keep coming to the chat. You want to be a mod too?
that these colleges are offering. But let's jump back in.
Seeing is that people who are highly educated in this country were promised this path of economic success. If you go to college, if you get the degree, if you go down that path, you're going to be guaranteed economic success. But really what we're seeing is that there's this huge downward mobility problem where people are putting in the money, taking out hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loans. I have $500,000 in student loan debt personally. And not seeing that translate into actual economic success because our society, the scales are so tipped in one direction to benefit the rich and the wealthy.
The DSA also wants to get rid of the border. Is that right?
What we talk about is an immigration system that is actually fair for people across the globe and recognizing the reality that a lot of immigration is.
You know what I'm saying? See my chat, you saying I'm fair with everybody. I don't want everybody to agree with every goddamn thing I say or anybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We are adults. We have different opinions, different lives. We grew up different. You know what I'm saying? On the real. So, welcome to the chat. I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? We here. Let's get it. This is a channel with common sense. Adults are back in the room. Wake up, America. Let's get it.
Driven by conditions that the U.S. helps to propagate across the globe. So we don't talk. It's similar to the conversation.
Would there be border security? You get rid of ICE. We know that.
Yeah,
you get
absolutely.
Would there be any other agency to take their place that would secure the border or enforce border control?
I guess I don't really understand why we kind of constantly get pinned on these particular questions when the immediate reality of the situation is that immigration enforcement is absolutely out of control, needs to be addressed immediately, and we know that in Los Angeles, like more than almost any other city in the country. So it's hard for.
Once again, I don't have the answer to that question, so I'm going to pivot to something else. Let's talk about the way ICE operates right now. Let's not talk about what we possibly could do in the future because we don't have those answers. See how terrible this is? Jeez Louise.
Me to take in good faith the questions around are you going to open the borders tomorrow? When the reality is we're so far from that right now, and that needs to be addressed.
The reality is Donald Trump got elected because we opened up the border. That's the reality, and that's the problem.
Well, I would disagree with that.
Well, Hispanic voters, male Hispanic voters, voted in record numbers for Donald Trump. In fact, a majority.
My thing is a lady, I think twice, allowed her dog to vote in the election. That right there, you know what I'm saying? I don't care how it was one incident. That should never happen. A dog voted in the election. Not cool. We gotta do better with these elections, man. When he's voting, you gotta do better.
Voted for Donald Trump. Democratic Party lost support with Black and Hispanic and young voters.
Again, Chad, thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? We here to grow and learn from each other. We're here and grow and learn from each other. I appreciate you guys. I'm not perfect at all. None of us is. The perfect person was Jesus Christ. And anybody that likes Muhammad, I don't know what the hell Muhammad do, because Jesus got his ass kicked for us. Jesus died for us. I don't know about this whole Allah BS. But I know Jesus died on the cross for us. And Jesus preached love, healing, forgiveness. And also, you gotta be raw. Yes, Jesus is the way, on the real. All I know is the Quran talking about some calling people infidels and chopping people's heads off. I'm saying, just want to take over. That's not of God. That's not cool. I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm just giving my opinion. On the real. But let's continue.
And every indication is that immigration had something to do with that. You dispute that.
I would absolutely dispute the claim that we opened the borders under Joe Biden, and I would absolutely dispute the claim that that is why Donald Trump got elected a second time. I think what is happening is that we're concentrating wealth in the hands of the few. That's without a doubt what's happening, and that's creating wildly unequal economic conditions. That's creating a totally unstable political system.
You decided not to endorse Nithya Raman, who's a DSA member for mayor of Los Angeles. You recommend her, but you won't endorse her using the resources of your organization. Why is that?
Well, our endorsement process for the general is still underway, actually. So we had an endorsement process.
So you could still endorse her?
It's still possible, yeah.
Right. Do you see a problem with her? I mean, she hasn't talked about Israel in the campaign. She has talked about reforming ULA, which is the mansion tax, in order to... Are those problems for you?
Well, like I said, we have a really robust internal democratic process. It's actively underway, and so we'll see where the kind of chips fall on that, but there's a lot of members who are excited about Nithya.
Right. Are you?
I'm going to defer to our organizational process.
Right. Is there if Karen Bass won re-election, would that be a problem?
Would that be a problem?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I'm just wondering whether there's antipathy towards the establishment Democratic Party to the point that you don't want to see an ascendancy of people like her who represent the status quo.
No, I mean, I think in a lot of ways, this election cycle is incredibly exciting for DSA and for the kind of ascendant progressive politics. And I think there's so many races that I would point to that are really illustrating that right now, like the city attorney race, where we have an endorsed candidate in Marissa Roy, the city council races, where we have an endorsed candidate in Estuardo and CD9. And I'm excited to see what decisions the chapter makes over the next month as we complete our endorsement process. But yeah, I mean, I think it's an exciting time for Democratic Socialists no matter what.
Francis Kell, MD, thank you very much.
These folks are empty shells. He asked direct questions and she danced around every single one. Because they don't have any answers.
Byron Donald.
They don't. And I think deep down, they know this type of stuff doesn't work. But it's not about it working. It's about them gaining power to do whatever it is that they want to do. That's what I think it actually boils down to. Because
the conflict with Iran just changed completely. Listen to
President
this.
Trump says the U.S. has total control over the Strait of Hormuz.
It comes as new details emerge over the reported Iranian threat on the president's life while he was at the NATO summit in Turkey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. It's a story that has captured the world attention this week, a threat against President Trump's life in Turkey last month. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that it was Israeli intelligence that tipped off the administration about this specific danger. The report explains the sourcing on this information, saying the U.S. official said Israel briefed the Trump administration on the intelligence, which included a threat to use shoulder-to-air missiles to target Air Force One. Now, ultimately, the president was moved from Air Force One to another plane using a catering truck, according to initial reports. The story comes as indirect negotiations continue with Iran aimed at opening the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump explained overnight that he doesn't trust the Iranian regime.
Yeah, the negotiations are over.
I'm the last person to trust Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. Right now, we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years, and they're no longer the bully of the Middle East.
But what have we been hearing for the last 3 months? Oh, Trump doesn't have a clue what's going on. He believes everything Iran says. They're playing him like a fiddle. Well, if that's true, watch this.
New details emerging over the reported Iranian threat on the president's life while he was at the NATO summit over in Turkey.
It comes, as Trump says, the U.S. still has total control over the Strait of Hormuz.
Good morning. President Trump has come to terms with the fact that the U.S. was getting nowhere with peace talks with the Iranians. So he is banking again on economic pressure to try to cripple the regime. That is why he is using the big guns literally to disable vessels that are trying to break the U.S. naval blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, including last night a
vessel that was Panama flagged.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday, U.S. forces disabled a Panama-flagged vessel that ignored warnings in the Gulf of Oman about the ongoing U.S. naval blockade. CENTCOM said an MH-60 Navy helicopter fired 2 Hellfire missiles into the ship's engine room. Still, the Iranians remain defiant as diplomatic efforts are dragging on.
Those efforts are over.
No one thought that Iran could resist in this way against America, with the Israeli regime accompanying it and the support of many other countries, including all Western countries and some other countries that we all know, and not bow its head and ultimately force the enemy to ask for negotiations.
Trump's already said he's the last person that trusts these guys, and right now he says the U.S. is going to keep the Strait of Hormuz and that the blockade is being called by everyone a wall of steel. There is nothing Iran can do about it. They have no Navy, no Air Force. Their remaining soldiers are unpaid. Their leadership is uncertain. They have no money. All they have is fake news and 300% inflation, and it's getting worse. And that's why right now the president is saying, look, let's just let the blockade and the economic consequences of this country being a militant aggressor do its thing, and it is. Watch this.
Officials in Israel tell Fox News they are preparing a variety of contingency plans for the uncertain days ahead. Guys?
So, Trey, what would you say is the status of negotiations? I see on Al Jazeera English that mediators are pushing for the U.S. and Iran to start talking directly again, and Pakistan is the one behind it. Pakistan is a problematic ally who's very close with Iran. So your thoughts about this? Because we're not getting any positive vibes coming from Washington.
No, because they're walking away.
At this point, reports indicate zero progress in a broader agreement with Iran. There are ongoing conversations between Iran and Oman about control of the Strait of Hormuz, but as we hear again and again from Iranian officials, they don't appear serious about actually keeping this international waterway open. In the background here, you have the ongoing U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports, and it is costing the Iranian regime hundreds of millions of dollars each day. And this economic pressure is affecting inflation numbers inside of Iran. It's difficult for many of the people there to access the goods that they need because the Iranians aren't even able to distribute general resources to their people. And so as this moves forward, this pressure will continue on the regime in Tehran, and that is one of many levers that the president has to pull on the economic front to pressure Iran to make a good faith deal. On the military front, there are still more than 50,000 U.S. forces staged across the Middle East.
So before we get to what happens next, you've got two things going on here. You have Iran out there saying, look, the Strait of Hormuz is ours. No one ever thought we could resist like this, the U.S. and Israel. We're not going anywhere. And on the other end, Trump says, look, we're just going to keep the Strait of Hormuz. The only piece of this anyone can independently verify is that there's a massive blockade and that it is working and that nothing is getting in or out of Iranian ports, while ships that aren't flagged, headed to Iran at all, are transiting the strait with the help of the U.S. military. And when Trump says we're keeping the strait, he might actually be saying something that's going to happen anyways, because Iran has already basically forced this. They've said they're never going to give up. Meanwhile, the Strait of Hormuz will be obsolete. It will no longer be an energy choke point in a year and a half because everyone is rerouting their oil away from the Strait of Hormuz. So the only leverage Iran has now, they're trying to get to the midterm elections and cause as much chaos as they can, because in a year and a half, this whole thing is over. And Trump can give back the Strait of Hormuz in a year and a half because nobody's going to want it. Watch this.
Why? Are you saying I trust Iran? I'm the last person to trust Iran. They've lied to me constantly. We have total control over the Hormuz Strait right now. They don't have control. We have total control. We own it. And at some point, maybe they'll do something. But right now, we're in a very good position. We have a country that has been the bully of the Middle East for 50 years. Really 51 if you think about it, right? We've been saying 47 for 4 years. And they're no longer...
So the president doesn't trust Iran, knows that if they make a deal with him, it's pretty much worthless, because just a couple of weeks ago, he and the president of Iran both signed the same deal, and then within 3 days, that whole piece of paper was worthless and was broken. This was the memorandum of understanding. Trump has literally walked away from the negotiations. He's just going to keep the blockade in place, let the Gulf allies reroute their oil supplies around this strategic asset that Iran still thinks they can use against the world. Meanwhile, oil prices today, they're down $82 a barrel. If you look at a 6-month graph here, August 11th, 82. I mean, we're where we were before this whole thing started. We are not even hitting the $100 a barrel that everyone said was going to happen, which means the dire predictions of U.S. failure and capitulation and getting manipulated by Iran and Iran being so much stronger, all of that is fake news. When the president says all they have is fake news and 300% inflation, he's 100% right on that.
Well, I think
Smoky Vibes, what's up, man? What up, what up? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, guy, I like Cash Jordan. Cash Jordan and my friend named Fashawn, the Chicago conservative. He's boots on the ground in Chicago when it comes to Brandon Johnson and goofy Governor Pritzker. He be going to City Hall, giving him the fucks. Him and Chicago flips red. And I like Cash Jordan because he's a realtor / YouTuber, and he lives in New York and he sees it and he's living the bullshit. So I like those two people because they right there on boots on the ground. So the facts and the fact checks right there. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming to these liberals.
Iran would dispute that assertion from the president. Iran would say that by virtue of the fact that they retain enough drones and ballistic missiles and their so-called mosquito fleet that they can interfere with traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, and that I wouldn't say that Iran controls it, but they've disrupted transport through the Strait of Hormuz. I think right now we're in essentially an economic war.
Welcome to the chat. Name is Deontay Renton Raves. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This will be the last video for the day. I might come back live again. If I don't, I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow I'll be back. I'll play this video out. Let's go from there.
Of attrition with Iran, where Iran seeks to impact the global economy, and we have a very effective blockade which is devastating Iran's economy. And the question I'm sure the president is posing to his national security team and his intelligence community is whether this pressure on Iran will result in any changes in their interest in coming to the negotiating table. So far it hasn't, but neither have military strikes delivered Iran to the negotiating table to negotiate in good faith.
Why did we have those military strikes just a few weeks ago? Remember what happened? We have the ceasefire, we have the memorandum of understanding, which they tear up, and then what happens is Iran starts going on offense in the Strait of Hormuz, going after ships that are not even part of this whole conflict, that have sailors on them that are non-combatants, and the U.S. military was put in a position where acting was the right thing to do to protect people. So we're actually back to where we were before they started doing that, but the only difference now is Trump says, I will not work with these guys. I do not trust these guys. I'm the last person that trusts them. The only question people have now is, will this affect the midterms? Iran hopes it does. That's the deadline they're looking at. They just want to make it through the midterms and try to cause as much chaos as they can to make it look like Trump has imploded and lost and has no plan and no way out of this, when really the truth couldn't be any more reversed. But just before we continue, this is a paid advertisement for Rumble Wallet, who's sponsoring this portion of the show. What if your bank told you no to your own money? Delayed transfers, frozen accounts, unexpected limits. It happens more often than you think. That's exactly why crypto exists. It gives you control, not partial control, actual ownership. But most people never try it because it feels complicated. That's where Rumble Wallet comes in. Yes, it's a wallet where you can store your crypto, but it's so much more than that. You can buy crypto in minutes, send it wherever you want, or cash out at any time. No waiting around and wondering when your money will clear. It connects with MoonPay, so you can add your debit card, credit card, or bank account and be up and running fast. And inside the wallet, you can choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stable coins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. And check this out. For a limited time, you can start your wallet with $20 in US stablecoin USAT for tipping Rumble creators like me by entering my exclusive promo code CashJordan20 when you sign up right now. So AT for official rules for details.
So yesterday afternoon, I spoke with General Jack Keane, and he believes that what they will turn to now, Iran,
he's
as we get closer to the
right.
midterms, is increasing violence and attacks. Here he is.
Just in the last few weeks, they've conducted 22 attacks. And as we get closer, I think we run the risk of the frequency may increase, but also the purpose of the attack and the violence of the attack may also. They think the closer they get to the...
How you doing, Sean Edits? How you doing?
midterm elections in terms of their actions, the less likelihood the president to respond militarily against them.
Do you agree with that? And what kind of escalated attacks do you think they may turn to?
I think that's the usual sage analysis from General Keane. We're also seeing increased attacks from the Houthis and the Red Sea. I think what Iran wants, if you look at their strategic objective, is to reduce or eliminate altogether U.S. influence in the Middle East. They want to drive up the cost of us being there.
Based on what the experts are saying, Iran has no desire and will not reappear at a negotiating table in any meaningful way. If in 2 weeks they say they want a deal, if they say they want a deal tomorrow, we should assume, based on this analysis, that that deal is going to be worth about as much as every other deal we've had. Because what is their objective? It is to reduce U.S. influence in the Middle East. How do you do that? You sow chaos between now and the midterm elections. The president's ability to run the government and have support from the people in the government implodes because the communists take over and start working against him. You have all these investigations, and boom, the U.S. doesn't have time to be over there, and they can get back to rebuilding it.
They say I voted for Trump to make the Democrats cry. Good one. Yeah, they need to cry. They need to cry some more.
Get back to pursuing everything. That's their goal. They're just trying to make it a few more months. But you have to remember something. They're in a very weak position. They are not this military Middle East powerhouse that they were before Epic Fury began. Their capability to be an aggressor with all of these weapons and drones isn't what it used to be. So any resistance, any attacks they can muster, it's a fraction of what they would have been capable of before this whole thing started. And remember, before this thing started, they were on their way towards achieving nuclear capability, which should frighten just about everybody.
And this is certainly one way for them to do it. I expect our military and our intelligence collection to be on high alert so that we can detect Iran's plans and intentions before
Hopefully
they put them into effect.
That happens, but
obviously, there's a lot of, as General Keane said yesterday, in many senses, it might be better if this story never got out. But we do know the president acknowledged that he was taken out of Air Force One. The details are that it was in a catering truck, and there's reports that there were 3 other close aides who were with him. And it was because they were very concerned about a shoulder-fired missile attack, according to these reports, on Air Force One.
So this story, it's a big story. You've got some people out there that have believed the fake news narrative that Trump did something wrong by escaping from Air Force One.
Yeah, Dave, I'm tired of it too, man. Sick and tired of the lies and the double talk, all that. Yep.
But at the other end of this, does this story make Iran look good? Does it make it look like they're being peaceful and reasonable? No, not at all. This makes it look like they will do absolutely anything other than pursue a path of peace. And everything we've seen over the last several weeks, several months, what has it done? It has taken elements of the American population that might have thought, hey, these guys will negotiate, these guys will make a deal, and it has solidified opposition to Iran's games that they've been playing not just over the last 4 months, but over the last 47 years. Everybody knows what the president is saying. When he's standing there on the tarmac in front of Air Force One, he says, I'm the last person that trusts these guys. All they do is lie to me. I mean, that's how our country is starting to feel. They're not telling the truth. And then we have this story about Trump having to evacuate Air Force One. If Iran wants to come out and say, hey, we're peaceful, we're on defense, I mean, this is the wrong way to say it. This is the wrong piece of propaganda for that line of thinking, which isn't true at all.
So I think first and foremost, this was an intelligence failure. We're supposed to detect threats to the president way out left of boom, as we like to say, so that we can preempt those threats and neutralize them. In this case, there was a short time fuse. The president and his team didn't have very much time to make decisions. Turkey is responsible for the president's safety in country, and they didn't have the intelligence collection, which reportedly came from Israel, and we didn't have enough time, I don't think, to determine the veracity of that reporting. Now, if that was a real threat, it's still ongoing. I think we need to get to the bottom of what that threat was, because it could reinvent itself in some other part of the world against the president or his team.
And that we've
the second.
Here's what you need to understand about this threat. What are we talking about? We're talking about the same threat the Soviets faced in Afghanistan. You have a shoulder-fired missile, which can be used by one person who just has to get near an airport somewhere, anywhere in the vicinity, and just watch for an aircraft to take off. This is a very hard threat to have a 100% guarantee against. You would need a massive security apparatus. You would need zero leaks. You would need 100% a wall of steel, so to speak, of not just intelligence, but of people, of eyes and ears, and everything around these airports. And the idea that a regime that has come after the president is not going to try and take the opportunity to get one person in position anywhere in the world whenever the president leaves the country, we very well may see this sort of thing again. Other leaders may experience the same thing. It's frightening, it's scary, but the world we live in is a world governed by the aggressive use of force, sadly. That's why we're not looking at peace. We have a regime in Iran that wants to use force to try and flip the script inside America politically. Do you think they're going to make that happen? Do you think the blockade is working? 300% inflation. That's ridiculous. No money for troops. How long is a standing army, which we're apparently told Iran still has, how long are they going to stick around? And you know what this also reveals? These negotiations, they've been a smokescreen, not just from Iran, who's trying to get to the midterm elections, but also from the Trump administration, because we've had this blockade happening in the background the entire time. It's been doing its thing. It's still doing its thing. And now the blockade has become the main tool, right? We're now being told by the news that, we're pursuing a path of economic pressure. Well, that path we've never gotten off that path. It's still happening. It's been happening this entire time. The negotiations, while Iran thought they were buying time, the economic pressure was actually doing something else. What do you think about all that? Let me know. I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. We at 2,301 subscribers. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it. I want to stay with you guys long, but I think it's been like 3 hours, maybe 4 hours. I've been live streaming. I'll probably be later on. I might come back on later on, but if not, I'll be back tomorrow. Love you guys. Love each other. Respect each other. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, guys. God is in control.